Yo, what's up guys, this is a beginner guide for all businesses in GTA Online. There will be timestamps in the description for each business. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Starting off with number 10 is the new bill office from the bottom dollar bounties update. To start, press right on the D-pad to register as a boss and then you can access the bill enforcement system. Here you will see 4 different bounty targets, 3 blue targets, these are normal targets, and 1 red target, this is a most wanted target. So the normal bounties pay around $40,000. These targets will refresh every hour in real life. That's if you already completed all 3 targets. If you still have to complete a couple targets, it won't refresh yet. Start any of these bounty missions. Now I went all the way to Paleto Bay with the bill enforcement van, but you can just go with a helicopter or any vehicle. When you're at the target's location, be careful when you're shooting at all the enemies because you may end up killing the target. So here I found the target, now you have to disarm the target. You can do this by grabbing a stun gun and tasing the target, or if you don't have a stun gun, shoot the target in their hand. Then walk up to the target and press right on the D-pad to secure the target. You can also eliminate the target, but then your bounty value will go down a bunch, like over 50%. You will then throw the target in the van and from here you will need to drive back to your bill office. When you're here, drive inside the garage. So that's how you complete normal bounty targets. You won't get paid right away, I'm not sure how long it takes, but I think like 15 minutes. Now on to the next feature, these agents. You can go up to them and press right on the D-pad to assign them to do work for you. This will earn additional income that will be stored in your safe. It will take 48 minutes IRL or 1 in-game day for them to do the work. You can then assign them again, so that's how you can fill up your safe. This is also a passive income business, just like in the Salvage Yard. This is how the most wanted targets work. This bounty target will refresh once every IRL day. It's the most rewarding bounty, it will pay anywhere between $120,000 and $140,000. This target is a mission, so not a free mode. For some of these targets, extra cash will lay around, like a duffel bag or artwork. So grab them to make some more money. When you are securing the bounty target, you will need to be really careful. I accidentally locked onto the target and shot her. It went from $129,000 to $32,000, so that's a huge difference. I restarted the mission and this time it won't happen. So tase or shoot the target in their hand. Now take the target back to the bill office. With the bill enforcement office you can make between $220,000 and $280,000 in the first hour every day. That's because you can only do the most wanted target once per day. That's where we make the most amount of money, so if that one isn't available you're only making about $150,000 per hour. So I do suggest making this part of your daily money making routine, but don't really grind it. Here I also receive money from my safe. Coming in at the number 9 spot is the CEO Special Cargo business. The way it works is you have a cargo crate warehouse. Once you have that, you are then able to do source missions where you either steal 1, 2 or 3 crates. You bring them back to the warehouse and then you can sell them on for a profit. In order to run the business you will need a CEO office and of course get a separate warehouse. You can own up to 3 warehouses and there's 3 different sizes that you can purchase. Small, medium and large. Depending on the size it will dictate how many crates you can hold in each, and of course the price per warehouse will increase the bigger it is. Now to make the most amount of money with the business you will want to always source 3 crates at a time. Sometimes it will give you 2 vehicles, sometimes you have to pick up all 3 individually, but that's the most efficient way to do it. Now when it comes to selling the crates, depending on how many crates you are selling at a time will dictate how many sell vehicles you have, but as a solo player you are able to complete a sell mission with 3 vehicles. I always suggest selling your cargo warehouse when it's completely full, because when your warehouse is full you will receive the most amount of money per cargo crate versus if you were to sell less crates. Now if you run the business really efficiently and you do the source missions quickly, you can make a few $100,000 per hour, which is great money, but of course it's not the best money method out there, which is why it's number 9 in the list. At the number 8 spot we have the other CEO business in the game, which is vehicle cargo. This one is very similar to the special cargo business, except this time instead of stealing crates you are stealing luxury vehicles which you then bring back to the warehouse. You will then modify them and from there you can sell the cars for a profit. Once again you will need to own a CEO office and a vehicle cargo warehouse to run the business, but once you have got that you're ready to go. Now like I said, the way the business works is we are stealing luxury cars to sell for a profit, but there are 3 different tiers of luxury cars you can source. When you run a source mission there are standard, mid-range and top-range cars, with of course top-range paying out the most and being the one that you want to source the most often. Now in order to make the most amount of money with this business you're going to want to only sell top-range cars. Once you get more and more standard and mid-range cars you have a higher chance of getting a top-range car. When you go to sell them, make sure you sell them for the most amount possible. There are 3 different options to sell. Selling to the specialist buyer will require you to mod the vehicle and pay $20,000. But don't worry, you are making the most amount of money, so it's completely worth it. With that being said, if you go and sell a top range vehicle for the most amount of money possible, which is $100,000, and you end up paying $20,000 to mod it, that means that you could net out $80,000 for one top range vehicle. Now you could do this roughly every 20 to 25 minutes, so you could get about 3 cars per hour, making you $240,000, but there's one catch, and that is because we are dealing with luxury vehicles. If you happen to crash it or take any damage while sourcing the vehicle or selling the vehicle, those will be deducted from your total. So in order to make the most amount of money possible, you will have to be as careful as you can when driving the car. So $240,000 per hour is a decent chunk of money, but if you want to take it a step further, you can sell the car in a public lobby with 25 or more players that will give you a 50% high demand bonus. Meaning that you could then sell the car for $150,000, netting $130k. If you do that 3 times per hour, that's $390,000, and because the sell missions are pretty simple, where you're just driving to a buyer on the other side of the map, earning that $390,000 isn't that far-fetched, which is why it's in the top 10 list, but the reason why it's at number 8 is because you have to do so many sell missions. During your source and sell missions, you could have money deducted from your profit, simply by running into another car, or actually another car running into you. So it's a great way to make money, but the amount of money you could make varies, which is why it's lower on the list. Coming in at number 7 is the Asset Lab. The way the business works is you either steal or purchase supplies. You bring them back to the lab, and then after some time those supplies are turned into product, which you could then sell on for a profit. In order to purchase the Asset Lab, you have to first do the first dose mission storyline. There's 6 in total. Once you have done that, you can then purchase the business for $750,000. Now in order to make the most amount of money with the business, you have to get the equipment upgraded for $250,000, but first you have to unlock it. The way to do that is by completing 10 fully gun missions. You can start them if you go to Dex inside the Freak Shop or call him and select a fully gun mission. Once you have done that, you can then call up Mats or talk to him at the Asset Lab. Purchase supplies for $60,000, and after 1.6 batches of supplies you have a fully stocked Asset Lab, which you could then sell on for $335,000. If you decide to do that, you will be making about $60,000 to $70,000 per hour in profit, but if you want to make some extra money, you can sell in a public lobby. If it's a session with 25 or more players, that will give you a 50% high demand bonus. I believe that every player gives a 2% bonus, and it's capped at 50%, which means that the highest bonus is in a 25 players public lobby. To get an extra 5% bonus, rename your Asset Lab. You can do that through your interaction menu. That will bring it up to $500,000 as your final sale, and this is completely doable because you're only ever guaranteed one sell vehicle. If you choose to go that route, you will be making about $100,000 per hour. That's the way I suggest to do it, and that's the reason why it's in the number 7 spot. It's a fairly passive business, and it earns you about $100,000 per hour, which is really good. Coming in at the number 6 spot is the Nightclub, which is the best passive income business in the entire game. There's 2 ways to make money with it, with the first one being through the Nightclub wall save. This is a save that has a set amount of money deposited into it every in-game day or 48 minutes IRL, depending on how popular your nightclub is. There are a few different ways to increase the popularity of the nightclub, but the 2 best are to throw out disturbances in the nightclub, which will pop up as a blue dot on your minimap, or to change DJs. When you change the DJ of your nightclub, your popularity will increase. The second way to make money is a little bit more complicated, but it's the bread and butter of the business, and that is through the warehouse. The warehouse is a section where you are able to hire and assign technicians to source products. When they source that product, it will then build up in a warehouse, and whenever you want, you can sell that product for a profit. Now, in order to make the most amount of money with it, you will want to of course hire all 5 technicians, which will cost a decent amount of money, and you will want to assign them to 5 specific type of products. But there's one catch for the warehouse, and that is if you want to assign a technician to source a specific kind of product, you will have to own a corresponding business in the game. So with that being said, here are the 5 types of products that make you the most amount of money and the corresponding business you will need to own. First, assign a technician to cargo and shipments. You will need a CEO hangar or a CEO cargo crate warehouse in order to do so. Next, assign one to sporting goods, which you will need a bunker for. Third is South American imports, which will need a Coca-Cola lockup. Fourth being pharmaceutical research, which we will need a Blue Stuff lab for, and fifth is cash creation, which you will need a counterfeit cash factory for. If you assign a technician to each one of those products and make sure that you have the equipment upgrade, you will earn about $50,000 total in warehouse stock each hour. Now the best part of the warehouse is that once you have done that and set it up, you don't have to do anything else except for the final sell mission whenever you decide to sell. All you have to do once you assign those technicians to those products is to just be in a session. So if you combine those two sections of the nightclub, you will be making $100,000 in almost completely passive income every single hour, which is the main reason why it's number 5 on the list. But the only reason why it's not higher is because in order to run the warehouse side of the business, you will need to own 5 other separate businesses, which will end up costing you close to the $10 million. At number 5, we have the new garment factory business, and it's actually better than a lot of people think. With this business, there are 2 ways to make money. First, we will go over the robberies, aka mini heists. They are called FIB files. So how it works, you either go to the computer in your garment factory or pull up your phone and go to this app. This is a new, really helpful feature, so you will be able to start these missions from anywhere on the map. There are 4 different FIB files. They refresh once a week on Thursday. They all pay around $150,000. You can also see that one is the priority file and that one pays double money. You can only complete the priority file once a week, but you're making over $300,000. So each week the priority file is the first one you should complete. The other 3 only have a short cooldown of 5 minutes before you can start another one, but you can play them as many times as you want. So each FIB file has 3 setups and a finale. In the finales there are 3 optional objectives. If you complete them all, you will get a $50,000 bonus. I will now share all objectives for each file so you can make up to $200,000 per file and nearly $400,000 on the priority one. For Project Breakaway, locate hideout. Within 5 minutes, get 15 headshots and get black books and server blades. That's the optional loot in one of the cells. For the black box file, destroy all 4 engines, recover all plane contents, there's 2, and get 5 kills during the escape. For fine art, enter undetected, flick the switch within 60 seconds and take all 3 cabinet contents. For brute force, reach Fort Zancudo within 5 minutes, enter area A undetected, destroy 5 vehicles with the Scarab, so the tank. If you have an oppressor, Sparrow or a vehicle like that, these missions won't take longer than 30 minutes. So you can complete 2 of these robberies per hour, and that will be about $400,000 to $500,000 per hour. That's without the double money mission. If you include that, you can make up to $600,000 in the first hour. The second method to make money is from passive income in the safe. Every in-game day or every 48 minutes real time, the save will increase by $1,500 to $2,000. It's not much and one of the worst saves in the game. Coming in at the number 4 spot, we have the auto shop contracts. Of course you will need to have an auto shop to do them, but what they are is essentially mini heists with 2 setups and a finale. Now there's 8 different types of contracts you can do and they each take about 20 to 30 minutes to complete as a solo player. But there's one contract that's better than the rest, and that is the Union Depository contract, because it pays out $300,000 while the rest pays out between $150 to $200,000. Now each of these contracts have about a 48-minute cooldown, so you can't just do the Union Depository contract back to back to back, but if you were to do the Union Depository contract and 1 or 2 others in an hour, you could be making $500,000 to $600,000. So with that being said, the reason why they are in the number 4 spot is because they pay out a great amount of money and I think they are pretty fun to play. Specifically the Dr. Dre contract, which can be accessed by having an agency and completing 1 security contract. The Dr. Dre contract acts like a massive heist where you have 3 mini heists and then 2 finale missions, with the payout being $1 million. At the end of it all, you will end up making about $1.1 to $1.2 million for all the setups plus the finale, and it will only take about an hour and a half to 2 hours to complete. Meaning that you're making about $650,000 every hour, and that's why it's number 3 on the list. Because you have to get the agency in order to do it, that also means that you have access to doing things like security contracts, passive income through the wall safe and payphone it, so those are the other ways to make money with the agency. To get a lot of passive income out of this one, you will need to grind a lot. So you can find the safe in here, and mine is empty unfortunately. That's because I never played any contract missions. If you didn't complete any contract missions, you will only get 1k every 48 minutes. I did play play a lot of contract missions on my other account, and here you can see that I have 44k. I got this in like 3 or 4 in-game days. So what you will need to do to increase your passive income is sit down in a chair, log in, and then go to one of these security contracts. You have different levels as in difficulty, and each one gives you different payout depending on the level. So just choose the contract that pays the most. These missions are not that hard, and you can even do them in an invite only session. So to max out your passive income for the agency, you will need to play 200 security contracts. I know that's a lot, you don't have to max it out, but I think that each 10 that you play increases your save money. If you play 200 of these contract missions, you will get 20k every 48 minutes, so every in-game day. That's quite a lot, but like I said, you will need to play 200 missions first. By playing 200 missions, your save capacity will also increase to 250k. Coming in at second place, we have the Hangar business. This one may shock some of you, but after the most recent buff and updates, you can now make up to $700,000 per hour as a solo player with the Hangar. Now the way this business works is very simple. You go out, you source crates, you bring them back to the warehouse, and then you're able to sell those crates for a profit. Each source mission will give 1 crate, and there's a maximum capacity of 50 crates in the Hangar. Now what's made the business so good recently is the fact that they have added land source and sell missions, which are faster and easier than the air missions. Especially if you have an aerial vehicle. I recommend using the new Jet, Oppressor Mark II or the Sparrow. Most source missions can be done in 3 to 5 minutes. Cell missions can now be done completely solo because you're only ever gonna get 1 cell vehicle. Now when it comes down to how much money you can actually make, each crate at minimum can be sold for $30,000. But depending on how many crates of each type of product you have, you can actually earn a percentage bonus of the sale. As you can see here, there's a tiered system depending on how many crates you have of a certain type of cargo. Now the best bonus you could get is a 70% bonus for selling either 50 crates of medical supplies, chemicals or narcotics, but there's a better way to run the business so you can make that $700,000 per hour. So to be as efficient as possible, you will want to choose to source 2 of the highest paying types of goods, which are chemicals, medical supplies and narcotics. It doesn't matter which 2 of the 3 you choose, but pick 2 and alternate between sourcing 1 of each crate. If you do that, after 4 hours you have 25 crates of each. Once that's done, you can do an individual sell mission for each, and you could do those missions in public lobbies with 25 or more players to take up those sales to $1.9 million each. Those sell missions can be completed in about 5 minutes. Combined, you will make about $3.8 million for just over 4 hours of work, meaning that you're making about $700k to $1 million per hour as a solo player, depending if you do it in an invite-only session or public lobby. Now we will look at the bunker. The way the business works is you first either steal or buy supplies for the bunker. Over time, workers at the bunker will turn those supplies into product, which you can then sell on for a profit. Now in order to make the most amount of money possible with the bunker, you will need to have the equipment and staff upgrades. You can then purchase supplies for $75,000. Once you do that, it will take about 2.5 hours to turn that $75,000 worth of supplies into $210,000 worth of product. As a solo player, it's best to sell after that 1 round of supplies turns into product, because for that cell mission you will always be guaranteed 1 cell vehicle. If you let the product build any more than that, you will most likely have more cell vehicles, and sometimes completing the cell mission will not be possible. Now of course, if you were to sell at $210,000 and you spent $75,000 purchasing supplies, that means that you made $135,000 in profit in about 2.5 hours, meaning that you're making about $54,000 per hour from this business. So first of all, you will get a call from Yusuf. If you don't get it, you can go to the Y on your map and you will get a call. Then go to the internet on your phone and go to Maze Bank Foreclosure. I will now filter it so we only see the Salvage Yards. This is the new property / business. These are all the 5 locations and they are all around $2.5 million. I will buy the original one. With all these upgrades, the staff, the tow truck, etc., it will cost you close to $6 million. Then go to your Salvage Yard and watch this cutscene. Now you first need to register as a boss and then you can access the computer. Here you will see 3 different cars. Pick the most expensive one, or at least the one where you will get the most amount of money for. Now complete the scope out mission, this should be fairly easy. Now you will need to complete 3 tasks. Then do 2 prep missions and you also have optional preps and tasks. You will see the tasks on your map as green icons. After you completed them, you can start the vehicle robbery. All this is done in free mode by the way, including the vehicle robbery. This is actually a really cool mission and there are multiple finales. This will take you about 20 minutes to complete. After you grab the car and delivered it to your salvage yard, you can now either sell the vehicle or scrap it for parts. You will get more money if you sell it, so that's what I will do right now. This business also has a passive income, so that's nice. When you deliver it, you will get a couple $100k plus the bonuses that you already got. So you can make like $500,000 each 45 minutes, that's pretty good. Although the KU Perico heist isn't an actual business, it's still by far the best way to make money in GTA Online solo, so I will show you a complete guide for it. So first make your way over to the planning screen inside your Kosatka. Press right on the D-pad and pay $100,000 to start the heist. If you want to make the most amount of money possible, you want to set it to hard mode. In order to do that, you first have to do the KU Perico heist, and once you have completed that, you have to wait for the cooldown to end, which is 2 hours and 24 minutes in real time or 3 in-game days. Once the cooldown is over, you have 48 minutes to set up the KU Perico heist again, and that will automatically turn it into hard mode. You can just turn your console off while you wait for the cooldown, but make sure you're in GTA Online when the cooldown is over. You will then get a call from Pavel and you will see this message. By doing this, you will earn $100,000 more, so that way you made the setup fee back. Now we can actually start. First we will do gather intel. Then sit down in the driver's seat and select the quick travel option so we can teleport to a location that's nearby the yellow destination. Now if you have the Sparrow as one of your moonpool vehicles, get in it. I highly recommend getting this helicopter cause it will make everything a lot faster. It will set you back $1.8 million, but it's definitely worth it. When you're at the location, take these guys out and get in the plane. Be careful that you don't blow up the plane, then you have to fly to KU Perico. When you're on the KU Perico island, turn around and go inside this hangar. Then look for loot on the tables behind these fences. If there's loot, pull up your phone, go to the camera app and take a picture of the stacks individually. Then send it to Pavel. If there isn't any loot, don't worry, the secondary loot spawns are completely random. So you might get good loot, bad loot or no loot at all. Anyway, when you're done, climb up here via these boxes. Here you will find another table with loot. There's one more loot spawn we will check out. If there's a guard on your minimap, go around his cone of vision. Now do the same thing, look for loot and then take a picture. If there are 2 stacks, take a picture of both and send them to Pavel. When you did that, make your way over to the airstrip. Here you will find a bike, get on it and then follow me. I will speed it up, but just go around all the guards and make sure you don't get caught. If you get too close in their cone of vision, they can hear the engine. You will then get caught and sent back, we don't want that. When you're here, you have to keep an eye out on the guard that's in the tower. So this one, to play it safe, wait till he looks your way and right when he turns around, do what I do. So go on the left and jump via this hill. Now keep driving to the communications tower, so just follow me. If there's no guard at the tower, it means that the signal box is on the ground, as you can see here. If there's a guard close to the tower, the signal box will be in the tower, meaning that you have to climb. Now we have to hack into the signal box. At first it looks really complicated, but once I've explained it, it's not that hard. You will see 3 numbers on the left and 3 signs on the right. You have to connect them and together they have to achieve the target number at the top of your screen. X means times 10, the second symbol means times 2 and the last symbol means times 1. The order of the symbol may be different for you, as you can see here. So in order to get 37, we will connect 2 with X, which makes 20, then 6 times 2, doubling it, makes 12, and then we need 5. So I will connect 5 with this symbol, which makes the number stay the same, and together that's 37. Once you did that, go to the Sightseer app on your phone. So this one and then scroll through the camera till you're in the basement. Then move the camera to the left while holding your right joystick and you will either find your primary target in its glass case or you will see a save more on the left. I will quickly show you a chart of all the primary targets with their value, both for normal and hard mode. So I got Tequila, which is the worst one, and it's completely random which primary target you get. The chances of you getting Tequila is of course higher than a pink diamond. If you already played the heist before with the main dock and drainage tunnel entrance points, open your interaction menu, go to preferences and set your spawn location to your Kosatka. Then simply find a new invite only session and you will be back in your Kosatka, which saves us a lot of time. If you haven't done this heist before with those entry points, go to this location on the island and take a picture of the main dock. Send it to Pavel and from here get in this boat and drive all the way to the back of the island. Over here is the compound. Jump off the boat and dive down till it says that you unlock the drainage tunnel entrance. There you can find a new session and go to the planning screen again. We will now move on to the Keopuriko heist preps, starting with the approach vehicle where we will select the boat Longfin. For this one you have to go to a police station and you need a truck. If you own the Phantom Wedge you can request it through your interaction menu and that will save you a couple minutes. But if you don't own it, make your way over to the truck icon that's by itself, that's the Phantom Wedge. Then back up into the police station so you can attach the trailer with the boat. You will of course get a wanted level, so now you have to try and lose the cops. In the meantime, make your way over to the docks over here. This is where we have to deliver this boat, but you first have to lose your wanted level. So what we will do is park the truck exactly here, then get out and blow yourself up. Make sure you stand away from the truck. You will respawn without a wanted level and you can now get back inside the truck. It's already in the right spot, so it will automatically be delivered. Your spawn location should still be your Kosatka, so now just find a new invite only session. Go to the screen again and we will now do the equipment prep. First do the plasma cutter prep. If you have bare bonds as your primary target, you will have to prep safe code instead of this one. I will show how to do that one after this. For this one you have to go in a safe house, take a couple steps forward and then take a picture of the planning board. It will either be on the left or right. Send it to Pavel and then you have to go to another location. You will encounter some more enemies, so take them out, steal the plasma cutter and deliver it to your Kosatka. So if you have the safe code prep, you will need to make your way over to the casino. Then take the elevator on the left and from here you will need to find a room with 2 guards in front of it. If you take them out with a silencer, the people inside won't be alerted. You can also just go inside and kill everyone. Eliminate the head of security and search his body for the safe code. That's it. For the fingerprint cloner prep you have to break into a warehouse. Don't worry about the cameras, just go in and take out 4 guys. Then go to the computer and hack it by completing the word Panther. Pretty easy, then make your way over to the archive. While you're here, walk to the back and on the left on this table you will find the fingerprint cloner. Deliver it back to your Kosatka and then we will do the cutting torch prep. This is probably the easiest prep. All you have to do is go to the construction site and if you find a yellow helmet, a hard hat, I recommend equipping it so you can freely look around. You have to search toolboxes and look for the cutting torch. It's blue so you will easily see it. That's all for this prep, and the last prep that we have to complete is weapon loadout. Select aggressor. If it says Merryweather HQ, find a new invite only session. You do not want to do that one cause it just takes way longer than the others. It will send you to a building, enter via the roof and inside you have to take out some guys. Then go to the gun locker on the left. You won't be able to open it because it's locked. So you have to hack the computer by finding the numbers combination at the top. You can now open the gun locker and steal the weapons. Bring it back to your Kosatka and access the planning screen. So that was the last heist prep, but first I have to explain the secondary loot cause it plays a big role in the amount of money you will end up making. So here you can see your secondary loot. I have 3 cash stashes, 2 green stuff stashes and also a Coca-Cola stash. Looking at this chart you can see what pays the most and also how much a stack of each secondary target will fill up your loot bag. So you should prioritize Coca-Cola first, then the green stuff and lastly cash. I recommend that you screenshot it so you can use it when you're doing the heist. We are not only doing this for the money, but you also have to do this to make sure your loot bag is completely filled. That's because it's one of the requirements to complete the Elite Challenge. I mentioned it earlier in the video, by completing the Elite Challenge on hard mode you will be making an extra $100,000. If you complete it on normal mode you're only making $50,000. Now in order to complete the Elite Challenge you have to complete the heist under 15 minutes. You need to have a full loot bag, you cannot die, you also cannot get caught by any of the guards and lastly you cannot fail any hacks. Don't worry about that cause the hacks are fairly simple. If you just follow my route you will complete the Elite Challenge every time. When you are back at the planning screen, go to the finale section and start it in the bottom right. From here, set your approach vehicle to the long fin, your infiltration point to the main dock, your compound entry point to the drainage tunnel, your escape point to whatever, this doesn't really matter and you will see why later. Set the time of day to day, at least that's what I prefer. Lastly, go to weapon loadout and double click on suppressors. When you see the box turn orange, you're good to go. You're now ready for the Cayo Perico heist finale. Alright, so first we will get the secondary loot, and for the entire heist in general, just follow my route. Right now we are going to the airstrip on the left. Also a pro tip, hold your right bumper on your controller so you can make sharp turns, it's especially helpful at this very first part. Once you're here, dock your boat on the sand without it getting stuck. If you follow exactly what I do, you don't have to worry about getting caught, cause I do this completely stealthy. Grab your machine pistol and take out this guard. Now go into the hangar, and if you had secondary loot behind this fence, press right on the D-pad to open it and then grab the stash. Keep that chart in mind that I showed earlier. I first want to get the other two stashes so I won't take the cash, otherwise it will fill up my bag with less valuable loot. If you also have secondary loot on the upper floor, you have to get in a forklift over here. Then pick up these boxes over here and do what I do. I will use it to climb on top of the platform. The method that we use to climb on it when scoping out the island doesn't work cause there isn't a lock on that side. When you're in here, open up the gate with the cutting torch and loot whatever you need to get. I'm only here for the green stuff. When you're done here, jump back out to the ground floor and follow the route I'm taking. We will go to this wall and then climb on top of the roof. Now you have to take out the guard on the balcony and also shoot this camera. It's kinda hidden, but you will see it. Now wait till this guard walks away, cause sometimes if you already start opening the gate when he's close to the stash, he can hear the cutting torch. So now just grab what you need to get. I actually didn't do it optimally cause I filled my loot bag with too much green stuff instead of the white stuff, but you shouldn't make that mistake. Once you have got all your secondary loot and filled up your loot bag, make your way back over to the long fin. Hopefully you ducked it better than me, but don't worry if you have to swim to it. We are moving on to the main event of the Cayo Perico heist, which is stealing the primary target. Once again, just follow my route so we can enter the compound through the drainage tunnel. Jump out the boat and dive underwater. Also equip your rebreather by pressing left on the D-pad cause you don't want to drown in the middle of this. So just swim to the drainage tunnel and from there we have to cut open the gate. It's pretty easy, just hold the button to start the cutting tool and then use your right or left joystick to move the cutting tool. You have to burn each bar for a couple seconds and once it goes from green to red you can move on to the next bar. Once you cut open the gate, swim through the tunnel and enter the compound. I combined the gameplay of another run with this one, so don't worry about the cache, but on this run I had better RNG and it was more smooth. So when you're in the compound, follow my route. Don't worry about any of the guards, they will not see you. Once you're here, make sure this guard walks to the right and then you can walk right past him. Same for this guard, just run behind him and follow me up the stairs. There's one more guard, so take cover on this wall and wait till he walks down the stairs. You might think that he will see you, but don't worry, when he walks past you, quickly run behind him and go up the stairs. Then go inside El Rubio's office. Open his safe for some free cash. You can get between 20 and 100k from this. Now go to the elevator and do the hack. This is the fingerprint hack. You have to match the boxes on the left with the fingerprint on the right. I know there's a strategy for this, but I just go from the small fingerprint to the white one and I usually get it done pretty fast. Now you can take the elevator down to the basement. Here we have to burn a lock again by pressing right on the D-pad. Once you're inside, go to the glass box and cut the glass with your cutting torch. It's pretty simple, just hold down your right trigger till the heat bar in the bottom right almost fills up. Then let it cool down and repeat, don't let it overheat. After doing that 4 or 5 times, it will cut through the glass and you can steal the primary target. If you have bearer bonds as your primary target, Pavel will text you the safe code and you have to enter the code in the safe. So we now have the primary target and we will make our way back over to El Rubio's office by taking the elevator. We can't escape through the drainage tunnel anymore cause they sealed it off. Just follow my lead and we will stealthily be out of here in like a minute. Go down the stairs, walk behind this guard and also walk past this guard, but make sure the other guard is on the left. I had great luck and he was already on the left, but you might have to wait a little bit till he moves to the left. Then jump down and follow this path. Don't worry too much about the guard on the left, just go around their cone of vision and press right on the D-pad here to escape. It doesn't matter if the guard sees you, just make sure you spam right on the D-pad so the cutscene starts. When you're outside of the compound, grab your machine pistol, run in between these two trees and take out this guy with a headshot. Then take the bike and follow me again. You only have to be careful with this guard, just go behind him and you will be fine. Then drive through here and don't crash into the bushes or trees cause they are solid. Now try to jump as far as you can. If you have enough speed and hit the jump right, you can go pretty far. So we now have to swim away to escape Cayo Perico. Just go underwater, equip the rebreather and keep swimming till the text disappears in the bottom center of your screen. Now you can stop swimming and it will load. That can take a little bit. So for completing the Cayo Perico heist on hard mode and beating the elite challenge with Tequila as my primary target, I made $1.2 million. Keep in mind that Tequila is the worst primary target, so if you get the pink diamond for example, you can make up to $1.7 million. But hey, for the least valuable primary target, $1.2 million is still great. Especially because I did all of this in under an hour. So there's no doubt that this is still the best money method in GTA Online in 2025. I really hope this video helped you guys out and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye bye.